And the ceremony of awarding state awards starts on the Independence Square of Kiev. The decree of the President of Ukraine is being announced by the head of the presidential administration, Euromaidan.
За особисту мужність і героїзм, виявлені у захисті державного суверенітету та територіальної цілісності України.
And the awards will be awarded for the merits for protection of motherland.
Ордена Золота Зірка Тарасюку Василю Олександровичу, лейтенанту.
So Terrorism Metro becomes the hero of Ukraine.
За виняткову мужність, героїзм і самопожертву.
For courage in protection, Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Присвоєно звання Герой України з удостоєнням ордена Золота Зірка Лоскоту Євгену Олександровичу.
Captain Loskot Yevhen posthumously is awarded the Hero of Ukraine.
Мати Ксенія Данилівна та син Тарас Євгенович.
Yevhen's mother and Yevhen's son are receiving the award.
Президент України Петро Порошенко.
Церемонію нагородження завершено.
So the ceremony of awarding Heroes of Ukraine is over.
Розпочинаємо урочисту церемонію присвоєння почесних найменувань та вручення бойових
The ceremony of presenting of honorable awards and combat flags to military units defending the country in the east of Ukraine begins.
Бойові прапори командирам військових частин вручають.
So the military flags are handed over to commanders of military units, are being presented by President of Ukraine, Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine Petro Poroshenko, Minister of Defense of Ukraine, General of the Armed Forces of Ukraine Stepan Poltorak, Chief of the General Staff, Commander of the Armed Forces of Ukraine General Viktor Muzhenko, Commander of the National Guard of Ukraine Lieutenant General Yuri Alerov, and Head of the State Bodyguard Service of Ukraine Lieutenant General Petro Tsyhiko. To honor the outstanding commanders and the heroes of the national liberation fight of the Ukrainian people of different times, the revival of national military historical traditions on territorial principle of names of military units, and on the occasion of the 26th anniversary of Ukraine's independence, the following have been awarded honorary titles by the President's decree. The 24th Separate Mechanized Brigade is named after King Danilo, Prince Danilo Halitsky, the outstanding state and military figure of the medieval Ukraine. The personnel of the brigade proved to be worthy of the name of Ukraine's national hero. They proved it in the battles for Krasny Liman, Yampil and Zakontne, and for liberating the cities of Slovyansk, Siversk and Lysychansk. 289 servicemen were awarded state awards for their merits and courage. Colonel Anatoly Shevchenko receives the flag.
– 72-й окремій механізованій бригаді почесного найменування імені чорних запорожців.
The 72nd Separate Mechanized Brigade is named after the Black Cossacks, Black Zaporozhians, soldiers of this regiment, who distinguished themselves in combat operations in the east of Ukraine. More than 300 servicemen of the brigade were awarded state awards for their merits and courage. The battle flag with a ribbon with the name is presented to commander of the brigade, Colonel Andrei Sokolov. The first specialized tank brigade receives the name Siverska. Servicemen of the brigade distinguished themselves during the battles for the Donetsk airport, the defense of Khreshchatyk, Krasnohorivka, Mariinka, and other cities and towns of eastern Ukraine. The banner is presented to commander of the brigade, Serhiy Malenko, Colonel Serhiy Malenko. The 16th separate brigade of military aviation receives the name Brody. In December of 1918, Brody was a collecting station for airplanes of the Flying Regiment of the Ukrainian Galician Army. The present brigade staff distinguished themselves in the operations for the liberation of Sloviansk and Dzerzhinsk. 159 servicemen were awarded state awards for courage, merits and heroism. The banner with the ribbon with broader name is presented to commander of the brigade, Colonel Igor Mazepa. The first brigade of the operational appointment of the National Guard of Ukraine is named after an outstanding state and military person, Petro Doroshenko. The brigade staff performed official tasks in the ATO zone and proved its victory to be worthy of the name of the famous hetman of the Zaporozhian siege. 215 servicemen of the brigade were awarded state awards for their merits and courage. The battle flag is presented to the commander of the brigade, Colonel Vladimir Musienko. The Military Institute of the Tank Army is also receiving the battle flag. Graduates of this educational institution received state awards for courage and heroism, shown in protecting the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Ukraine, and 4 of them, Major General Andrei Kovalchuk, Lieutenant Colonel Yevhen Mazhevikin, Captain Serhiy Kolody and Captain Alexander Ravnenko, were awarded the highest recognition as heroes of Ukraine. The battle flag is presented to head of the institute, Colonel Alexander Serpukhov. The banner is handed over to the 88th Specialized Air Assault Battalion. The military unit has been established in December of 2012. From the very days of the anti-terrorist operation, its personnel took part in hostilities in eastern Ukraine. The battalion servicemen demonstrate high skills, dedication and high level of responsibility while performing their military duties. The banner is presented to Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Kilafuli.
Бойовий прапор вручається 137-му окремому батальйону
The banner
морської
is
піхоти.
presented to the
Особовий склад
137th
батальйону
Specialized
виконує
Battalion
бойові
of the
завдання
Marine
по
Corps.
захисту національних інтересів
The
України
battalion
в
successfully
морській
performs combat
економічній
missions
зоні
to
на
protect
острові
Ukraine's
Зміїний.
national
Та відзначився
interests
під
in
час
the
несення
maritime economic
оперативного
zone on the
чергування
island of
у складі
Zmyny,
бойової тактичної
and
групи
it
Військовослужбовці
distinguished
батальйону,
itself during operational duty in the combat
антитерористичні
technical group
операції,
Hellbrock.
більшість з яких відзначені
The battalion's
значенням
servicemen
народу.
were participants of the anti-terrorist operation. Most of them received awards from their respective ministry. The banner is presented to battalion commander Andriy Fedichev.
Бойовий прапор вручається Східному регіональному управлінню Державної прикордонної служби
The
України.
battle flag is handed over to the Eastern Regional Directorate of the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine. The Directorate consists of 5 border detachments guarding the state border of Ukraine with the Russian Federation, which is 1,578 kilometers long. 36 border guards were awarded state awards for courage and heroism while performing their military service duties in the east of Ukraine. The battle flag is handed over to the head of the department, Major General Serhiy Bedilov.
Церемонію присвоєння почесних найменувань та вручення бойових
And the
прапорів
ceremony of
військовим
awarding the
частинам
honorary titles and handing
завершено.
over the battle banners to the military units is over.
Командири військових частин та прапороносці
And
з бойовими
commanders of the military units and flag bearers with the battle flags are marching to the location of the composite
Бойовий
cruise.
прапор військової частини є символом честі, доблесті і
The battle flag of any military unit is a symbol of honor, courage, and glory. It obliges every serviceman of the armed forces of Ukraine to serve the Ukrainian people with great dedication and skillfully and persistently defend the Ukrainian state. And you may now listen to one of the unofficial anthems of Ukraine written in early 20th century for Ukraine, za Ukrainu. And a couple of words about the Declaration of Independence of Ukraine. The Act of Declaration of Independence was adopted by Ukrainian Parliament on the 24th of August 1991. It has established Ukraine an independent state. This act was adopted in the aftermath of the coup d'etat attempt of the 19th of August 1991 in Moscow, when the then hardline communist leaders of the Soviet Union tried to restore Communist Party's Central Committee's control over the USSR, Soviet Union. In response, during a tense 11-hour extraordinary session, the Supreme Council of the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic has approved the act. And now, the solemn parade of the troops along the Khreshchatyk Street is about to begin.
На двохлінійних дистанції. На плече. Рівняння праворуч. Кроком. Руш.
На Майдані Незалежності
And the solemn march is starting on the Independence Square.
Хрещатиком крокують наймолодші учасники урочистого заходу, ліцеїсти
The youngest participants of the solemn ceremony, students of the Ivan Bohun Kyiv Military Lyceum, are marching along Khreshchatyk.
Артем Євтушенко. У строю
Junior Sergeant Artem Yevtushenko leads the division alongside Drum Major. Lyceum students Ivan Korpach and Vitaly Malenkevich, whose fathers heroically perished while performing their duties in the east of Ukraine, are also in the brigade. The head of the Lyceum is hero of Ukraine, Major General Igor Hordichuk.
прапороносці в новому церемонійному однострої. В їх руках прапор першого українського полку імені Богдана Хмельницького.
So we can see the flag of the Bogdan Khmelnytsky 1st Ukrainian Regiment. It opens the parade. The regiment has been established in May of 1917, and on the 20th of July it suffered the first losses in the fight against the Russian aggressor for Ukraine's independence. The symbol of the victory of the Ukrainian army from 1917 to 1921 was the 3rd Iron Rifle Division of the Army of the Ukrainian People's Republic, which was the first one to receive the honorary title and the battle flag for victorious battles against the Russian Bolshevik forces.
Героїчно виконує конституційний обов'язок в районі проведення АТО.
And this is the group of flag bearers with flags of the armed forces of Ukraine.
Столиці України офіцери Національного університету оборони України
Officers of the Ivan Chernyakhovsky National University of Defense of Ukraine march along the Khreshchatyk Street. 80% of the students of the university participated in the warfare in eastern Ukraine. The group is headed by the first deputy commander of the university, Lieutenant General Viktor Tarasov.
Хрещатиком крокує зведений підрозділ сухопутних військ.
The combined unit of the ground forces of the armed forces of Ukraine, with the flag of the glorious 30th Separate Mechanized Brigade, is marching through the Independence Square. 13 servicemen of the ground forces of the armed forces of Ukraine, 4 of them posthumously, were awarded the title of Hero of Ukraine. The combined column is headed by Colonel Serhiy Skripnik. The Independence Square greets the legionary Marines, servicemen of the 36th Separate Marine Brigade of the Naval Forces of Ukraine, who perform their duties in the ATO zone in the east of Ukraine, are marching through Independence Square. The brigade is headed by its commander, Colonel Dmytro Delatitsky.
На головній площі столиці високомобільні десантні війська. У складі парадного розрахунку воїни-десантники, учасники бойових дій, які
Airborne troops, participants of the combat missions, who liberated Donbass, march through the Independence Square. About 3,000 paratroopers were awarded state awards for courage and heroism. Commander of the 81st Air Mobile Brigade, Colonel Yevhen Mosuk, heads the column.
Урочистим маршем крокує зведений підрозділ учасників АТО, героїв, які
The participants of the war in eastern Ukraine, heroes, who are the reserve troops of the 1st Separate Tank Brigade, are marching.
Володимир Полєшко та солдат Сергій Якимчук. На чолі зведеного підрозділу командир першої окремої танкової бригади, полковник Сергій.
Colonel Serhiy Malenko is heading the column. He's the commander of the 1st Separate Tank Brigade.
На марші курсанти-артилеристи славетного навчального закладу.
Cadets of the renowned Hetman Petro Sahidachny National Army Academy are on the march.
95 випускників академії.
295 graduates of the academy participated in the anti-terrorist operation, and they were awarded with high state awards. 8 of them were awarded the title of Hero of Ukraine.
Полковник Ярослав Весельський.
Bogdan Khmelnytsky order bearer Colonel Yaroslav Veselsky is heading the column.
Крокують воїни-танкісти у складі параду.
And now we can see tank men marching along Khreshchatyk Street.
Антитерористичної операції
Participants of the anti-terrorist operation, Sergeant Igor Fedotchenko and senior soldier Serhiy Pikhur, are within the combined parade column. Colonel Alexander Serpukhov, head of the institute, commands the combined squad.
Khreshchatykом урочисто крокують найкращі курсанти Харківського
Officers and students of the Ivan Kozhedub Kharkiv University of Air Forces are marching through Independence Square. Among them are participants of the warfare in Eastern Ukraine Junior Sergeant Artur Shepelenko, senior soldiers Vadim Zakorchevny and Denis Saltovsky, and soldier Roman Yakimenko. The combined squad is led by the commandant of the university, Major General Andrei Olympiev. Servicemen of the Ukrainian Navy are solemnly marching along the main street of Kyiv. The combined squad is led by the commandant of the Institute of Naval Forces of Ukraine, Captain of the first rank Petro Honcharenko. And the combined squad of the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine are on the Independence Square. Among them, there are participants of the anti-terrorist operation. They have orders for courage and for merit. The column is led by Commandant of the Military Academy, Major General Oleg Gulyak.
До трибуни наближається парадний розрахунок воїнів-розвідників у складі особовий склад Житомирського військового інституту імені Корольова, який бере
The combined squad of the Serhiy Korolov Zhytomyr Military Institute is on the Independence Square.
використовуючи власні сучасні науково
They provide support for the servicemen in Eastern Ukraine.
начальник інституту генерал-майор
Олександр
Левченко.
Head of the institute, Major General Alexander Levchenko, heads the column.
На марші батальйон воїнів-зв'язківців. У парадному розрахунку особовий склад військового інституту
Servicemen of the Military Institute of Telecommunications and Information Technologies, its students, are on the Independence Square.
сержант Максим Нагуляк та старший солдат В'ячеслав Цибульський. Колону очолює начальник факультету військового інституту телекомунікації та інформатизації.
The combined squad is headed by faculty chairman Colonel Alexander Ponomarev.
На головній вулиці столиці представники Національної академії внутрішніх справ.
Representatives of the National Academy of Internal Affairs of Ukraine are on the Independence Square.
Юристів і правоохоронців.
During a century-long history, around 50,000 lawyers and law enforcement officers graduated from this academy. The parade column is headed by Rector of the Academy, General of the Police of the second rank, Volodymyr Cherney.
Майданом Незалежності крокує спеціальний батальйон 25-ї бригади Національної гвардії
The
України.
separate battalion of the 25th Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine is marching across the Independence Square.
Врятовані життя, збережений спокій громадян та добробут країн. Нашим
They have
підрозділом
saved thousands of lives and preserved the calm of civilians and well-being of the country. Colonel Roman Habryk heads the subdivision.
урочисто крокують курсанти Національної академії Національної гвардії України.
Cadets of the National Academy of the National Guard of Ukraine are marching along the main street of Kiev. Excellent students, Sergeant Roman Struzhevsky, student Alexander Inchenko, Taras Ovcharenko and Maxim Krivorodenko are marching in this column.
Олег Шабалін.
The column is headed by Deputy Head of the National Academy, Colonel Oleg Shabalin.
На марші курсанти Національної академії Державної прикордонної служби України імені Богдана Хмельницького.
And now we see the cadets of the Bogdan Khmelnytsky National Academy of the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine in the main square of Kyiv. Over the 25 years, more than 9,000 officers graduated from the National Academy. At present, graduates of the Academy are successfully carrying out combat missions in the east of Ukraine. The parade column is led by Rector of the Academy, Major General Oleg Shinkaruk.
Крокують прикордонники України. Майже 18
And now we can see border guards of Ukraine. About 18,000 Ukrainian soldiers donning green berets took part in the anti-terrorist operation in Donbass. 780 of them are decorated with national awards for courage and heroism.
Колону очолює полковник Вадим Ляшенюк.
The column is headed by Colonel Vadim Lashenyuk.
До трибуни наближається зведений підрозділ Національної академії служби безпеки України.
The combined squad of the National Academy of the Security Service of Ukraine is on the Independence Square. Over 25 years, around 40,000 experienced specialists have graduated from the academy. The servicemen meet up-to-date requirements of the security sector and successfully fulfill their service duties in the NATO zone. The column is headed by Director of the Academy Serhiy Kudinov. And servicemen of the separate regiment of the President of Ukraine are marching through the Independence Square. The regiment protects state institutions and organizes events with the participation of the head of the state. Colonel Serhiy Klavlin leads the combined subdivisions.
Хрещатиком крокують військовослужбовці армій країн-партнерів України.
And now, foreign servicemen, representatives of countries partners of Ukraine are marching along Khreshchatyk. We can see Canadian, Georgian, British flags.
Підрозділ Збройних сил Канади. Відповідно до угоди між оборонними
Subdivision of the Canadian Armed Forces are marching in the Independence Square. According to the agreement between the defense ministries of Ukraine and Canada, Canada has prolonged the training mission Unifier until 2019. Around 200 Canadian military servicemen take part in these drills.
На Майдані Незалежності прапороносна група Збройних сил Естонської Республіки. Естонські
And
інструктори
flag bearers of the armed forces of the Republic of Estonia is in the Independence Square.
приймають на реабілітацію поранених в районі проведення АТО.
Estonia provides rehabilitation for Ukrainian servicemen fighting in the east of Ukraine.
До трибуни наближається підрозділ Збройних сил Грузії.
And the subdivision of the armed forces of Georgia is moving to the tribune. The joint participation of Ukraine and Georgia in military training exercises held within the framework of the Partnership for Peace program promotes the adaptation of both countries to NATO standards in order that they can effectively respond to the real challenges. Representatives of the armed forces of the United Kingdom are marching through the Independence Square. The priority of joint military cooperation between Ukraine and the United Kingdom is training of the Ukrainian military servicemen in accordance with specific British programs. You can see even a symbol of the northern part of the United Kingdom, Scotland, the bagpipe.
До трибуни наближається прапороносна група Збройних сил Латвійської Республіки.
Representatives of the armed forces of the Republic of Latvia are marching through Independence Square.
В ході підготовки особового складу Збройних сил України, так і під час спільної участі у багатонаціональних військових.
The armed forces of Latvia and the Ukrainian soldiers are usually participating in common drills, and Latvia provides support and training for Ukrainian soldiers.
Перед трибуною підрозділ війська Литовського зі складу спільної литовсько-польсько-української бригади. Досвідчені литовські інструктори беруть безпосередню участь в навчанні своїх українських колег за різними...
And now we see the representatives of the armed forces of Lithuania. Lithuania has always been one of the main Ukraine's
На
partners.
Майдані Незалежності підрозділ Збройних сил Республіки Молдова.
Servicemen of the armed forces of the Republic of Moldova are marching through the Independence Square. Ukraine and Moldova participate in peacekeeping operations led by NATO. Ukrainian and Moldovan contingents from a part of international forces under the command of NATO is responsible for keeping peace and stability in Kosovo.
Хрещатиком крокує підрозділ війська польського. Польська республіка є країною-формувачем спільної литовсько-польсько-української бригади.
And now we see the servicemen of the Polish army, which is a part of common Ukrainian-Lithuanian Polish subdivision working in these three states. This formation is a proof that international military cooperation with NATO countries has reached a new high-quality level.
Військове співробітництво наших країн має сталу динаміку розвитку, що позитивно впливає на зміцнення рівня регіональної безпеки.
And now we see the representatives of Romania. The cooperation between Ukrainian and Romanian armies prove the growth of regional stability.
Військовослужбовці української складової багатонаціональної
And these are Ukrainian representatives of the common Polish-Lithuanian-Ukrainian brigade. They have a great experience in participating in warfare and peacekeeping operations.
До трибуни наближається підрозділ Збройних сил Сполучених Штатів Америки.
And now we see the representatives of the armed forces of the United States.
Обороноздатності нашої держави беруть активну участь у практичній підготовці військовослужбовців.
The Army of the United States provides great aid to the Ukrainian armed forces. They provide trainings and, of course, help Ukrainian army with military equipment and advice.
На Хрещатику ветерани антитерористичної операції. Цей парадний розрахунок
Participants, combatants who took part in the warfare in eastern Ukraine are marching along the Khreshchatyk street. This combined squad personifies integrated army of all military branches and corps. They participated in tough battles against Russian forces in hotspots in the east of Ukraine. The column is led by the Knight of the Order of Bogdan Khmelnytsky, Oleg Degtyaryov.
На Майдані Незалежності зведений оркестр Національної гвардії
And
України.
orchestra of the National Guard of Ukraine is marching along Khreshchatyk.
Служби Національної гвардії України підполковник Ігор Тинятовський.
The orchestra is headed by Lieutenant Colonel Igor Tenitovsky.
Многое літа нашій славній
So we wish our country
Днем
many years
Незалежності.
health and we congratulate everyone on the Independence Day.
З Днем Незалежності України.
Happy Independence Day to everyone.
Спасибі.